Imagine a life where you've been sleepwalking through each day, never truly living in the present, and constantly feeling like a hamster on a wheel, just going through the motions. This could be you, but deep down you secretly wonder, what if I'm not just going through the motions of life? What if there's something more for me? This nagging voice, known as the existential crisis, is a common phenomenon in humans. According to psychologist Jean-Paul Sartre's concept of existentialism, life has no inherent meaning. It's up to each individual to give their life meaning. But before we dive deeper into this philosophical rabbit hole, let's take a step back and examine the underlying psychological drivers that lead us down this path of stagnation. Have you noticed that sometimes your life feels like a never-ending cycle of consumption, constantly chasing external validation through social media likes, comparing ourselves to others on Instagram, and buying the latest gadgets to keep up appearances? This is the hallmark of what psychologists call hedonic adaptation. Essentially, we get used to the high of a new purchase or a social media likes, and soon it becomes the norm. We become desensitized, and the high doesn't last as long. This is when we start seeking the next hit, the next feel-good fix, ultimately creating a vicious cycle that robs us of living our authentic lives. Now, let's look at this concept through the lens of the attachment theory. You see, attachment styles can greatly influence how we interact with our world. People with insecure attachment styles might engage in a form of what we call dopamine-seeking behavior. This behavior is characterized by an intense need for constant external validation, social support, and emotional gratification to compensate for the feeling of being unloved or unappreciated. This pattern of behavior is quite prevalent in our modern society. For instance, have you noticed how people share more about their perfect vacation or dinner experience on social media than the mundane, everyday experiences that shape us as individuals? This behavior speaks to the idea that we're constantly trying to signal to others that our lives are perfect and successful, even though internally feelings of emptiness and meaninglessness are present. On the flip side, people with secure attachment styles are more resilient to dopamine crashes. They tend to focus on intrinsic motivation rather than constant external validation. They know that life's meaning lies within their actions rather than in what others think or provide. So how do you break this cycle? The answer lies in developing what's known as intrinsic interest, or being genuinely invested in activities and causes that bring you true meaning and satisfaction. This is precisely what psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi means when he describes the concept of being flow. When we engage in activities that genuinely interest us, our minds feel immersed in the task at hand, providing us a deeper connection to the world around us. If you've caught yourself constantly seeking validation and feel caught in this vicious cycle of stagnation, here's what I want you to take away from this video. Your life is a product of your thoughts, and your thoughts create your experience. Don't just live, don't just exist, but rather immerse yourself in what makes life truly worth living. Not based on others' expectations, not based on likes, clicks, and shares, but rooted in what it is for you, an extraordinary individual. Take the first meaningful step. Challenge these external influences and explore what sparks joy within you, allowing you to cultivate an intrinsic life.